Okay, so all my renders have finished and we're ready to start building an ArtStation page. Now, I want to share with you what I have here in terms of my portfolio assets. We took a look at the egg turntable video. All right, and then we also have our prop turntable. So this is how these turned out. I could have taken a bit more time with these, but I did the renders kind of quickly and I just used the same comp setup that I had for my egg. So just something quick so we could get through this demo. I would probably want to take more time with it, but you can see how the end results turned out here. One thing I wanted to note is on the wireframe here, you might be wondering how I got the transparency. I just set a surface shader to transparent to get that to happen. Okay, so we have those assets. In addition to that, we also have our finished movie, and this is the main thing we want to showcase. So I'm actually going to hit Control-C on this, bring this into my portfolio section, and just Control-V. So that way we have our video. And that's the main thing we want to feature. Now, in addition to that, I went ahead and comped together a pass video. So here's the process video of play blast to rendering to composition. And this is something that can be nice to have to kind of show the process, to show the different changes you made in terms of compositing. So it can give a employer an idea of your skill set. You can also do a composition breakdown. Those look amazing, but they take forever. But I do like this as sort of a process video here. So I'm going to bring that over into my portfolio. Now, do you need all of these? No, the process video is not necessary. Really, you could probably just get away with the render scene here, and that will do you good. Now I'm going to move this off to my other screen, and I'm on my vert mode account here for ArtStation. So we're going to upload our first project to this account. Now, I'm ultimately going to change this to be an advertisement for this course, but I'm going to approach this as if I were you creating something for a portfolio. Where do we begin? Well, if you take a look at this bar up here, this is going to be your social bar for various things. This one here is going to be the one we care about. It's the upload project. Here's a notification. So if we're following anyone or if someone likes our stuff, we're going to get that there. This is our inbox or messenger. This is where people can message us directly. And I actually have been messaged by a lot of people in ArtStation when it comes to jobs, people looking to recruit or looking to hire me directly as a contract or commissioner. This is the shop. I don't use the shop too much, but it can be a great place to buy assets, but you can also sell assets. And then lastly, this is your account information. It's going to be where you set up your picture and all that kind of stuff. And that will actually be something you want to do. If you click on this, you will want to come into your view profile section here to check out your profile. And you're going to want to make sure you have an about me set up. You're going to want to have a summary. Contact information, bare minimum, I put your email. I don't suggest putting your phone. And you can also put the software you're proficient in. You can go to edit profile to do this, and you can just fill out this information in here. One thing that's really cool to do is upload a resume. I'm not going to do that here because this is a business account. But you could do that. You can also link in other social media, which is excellent if you have Pinterest or Twitter or Facebook. I would suggest an artist Facebook, an artist Twitter, an artist Pinterest, not your personal one, but one dedicated for art if you do set one up. I'd say those aren't as necessary. ArtStation's usually enough, but those help with discoverability. If you're going to do a lot of video work like we've done, YouTube is excellent. So those are all things you can set up here. And somewhere in here, you can set up the About Me section. I'm not seeing it here, but if you dig around in these settings long enough, you can. Perhaps if we go to the View Profile here, you can see if you click View Profile, you can go to Edit Profile here and make edits. But let's go back to the home here and let's click the Upload Project button here to bring us to the upload screen. So the first thing it's going to have me do is set up my artist profile. So you will need to take some time filling that out, make sure it's good to go. It's going to mention first time posts. Read through these. This is a good thing to read through. In terms of types of art, you'll see that it kind of gives you a rundown here. There are some things they don't want on here, so be mindful of that. Only post your own work, so don't post my stuff. No erotic artwork, though there is some on here, which is kind of funny. No photography, no posting other people's artwork. Now make sure you click the You Got It, and then we can continue forward. And now we're ready to upload. So the first thing we're going to need is a title and a description. I went ahead and drafted some of these already. So the project title I have is called The Hatching, and then the description down here is the description I put together. Now, I actually used ChatGPT to generate this. That's an artificial intelligence chatting bot. The reason why I did that is so it wouldn't necessarily be in my own voice. I wanted to create something generic that would sound like it came from you. I've had an issue in the past where when I demonstrated my writing to students, they tried to copy my style, and it really doesn't work. You need to try and get your own voice. So this is a very generic example of project description, but you can see it says The Hatching is a 5-second animation showcasing my expertise in 3D computer animation with meticulous modeling in Maya and texture mapping in Photoshop. I brought a dinosaur egg to life as it realistically hatches in a captivating laboratory. I might get rid of realistic and just put in hatches because it's not that realistic. You want to make sure that you're showing your full extent of your knowledge to whoever's reading this. This project highlights my proficiency in Maya, Photoshop, and After Effects, demonstrating my ability to create captivating animations. So I think that's good. Let's go ahead and put these. I'm just going to copy The Hatching here into the title. So we'll go ahead and place that into here. And then coming down into the artwork description, I'll go ahead and copy and paste this down here for now. Now, the next thing we do is upload media files, and there's a lot of different ways we can upload to here. Most of the time, what we're uploading to ArtStation is going to be photographs. It's going to be single renderings. So if you think of something like a 3D modeler, they're going to do a front, side, back view, and maybe a beauty shot of a character. But when it comes to someone who creates videos, like what we're doing here, we're going to upload videos. There's two means of doing that inside of here. We can upload videos directly into here using the video clip import. We can also bring in URLs externally. So that is something to think about, which is the video here. So you'll see that we have video, YouTube video, and we have video clip MP4. What I usually do is YouTube because it links it to my YouTube account and it links it to my ArtStation. So you kind of get it into two places for further exposure and wider search engine optimization for searchability by employers. So just kind of be aware of that. If you've never done this before, it's just going to have you copy and paste your URL. Now, I have not uploaded these to YouTube. They're going to go directly to ArtStation, and I might consider changing that up later, but we can click video clip here, and we can click upload video clip to upload our clip. You'll see that it's not in the right spot. We need to put this into portfolio, and then we can come in here and we can pick our images here. So I'm going to select lab render scene and open, and we'll go ahead and let this upload. Now you notice it says upgrade your account to get 4K videos, 250 megabytes. These videos are very short, so we should be okay for them to upload. But if you are going to do larger videos, larger resolutions, you might have to have a pro account. So now that that's there, we can check audio and we can click add video. And this will go ahead and add the video to the account, and we can add a caption here. We could just make this something like final video, and then we can upload our other videos. So we can just go to video clip, upload video clip. I could go ahead and add in the process video and hit open. Now you notice this one says it needs to be a smaller size. So I can't upload the process video. So that's a limitation where I would need to upgrade to a pro account. And that's okay, because the workaround for this is actually just to upload it to YouTube and make this one a URL. And that's all I would have to do. So I'm not going to be able to do it right now, but that's something I might take into consideration later on, something I might add after the fact. So I'll hit exit out of there because it seems to have bugged, and then we can upload our turntables. Now our turntables should be fine. So let's go ahead and find our egg turntable here because I want to show that first. And we'll just upload this. And just like we did with the video, we can add a little caption and just put character turntable. You don't want to use the abbreviation TT necessarily because that's just something I've been using. So just be mindful of that. So we'll go ahead and add video. It gives you a nice little preview there of how it's going to look. And we can just make this our character turntable. And then we'll add another video clip. And we can come into the incubator. I'm going to do the incubator first just because it's a little bit more impressive looking than the desk. All right, and we'll add video. Like how it makes you check the video all the way through before it uploads pretty much. And we'll make this our incubator turntable. Double check your spelling. I'm not sure that's right yet. I'll check it later. And then we'll go ahead and just add in our desk. And that will give us the various elements we need for this. Okay, and we can make this our desk turntable. Now, there's a few other things we're going to need to get in here. If you look over on the side here, it gives you a little bit note about having more things more popular. You can see that it posts to ArtStation and website, so you do have both, which is great. Not published, we can save, we can publish, but this is the important one here, which is the thumbnail. Now, you can see the project thumbnail is currently being taken from my video clip, and we could actually upload a separate one if we wanted to. So one of the things you could do is just take a still render from After Effects. You could either use a screen grab if you want something low resolution, or you could render it out using After Effects render as an image sequence to upload. What I'm going to do here is just crop this one though, since it's okay. I'm going to click the crop button here and just frame this up to be on the incubator, so that way it tells a story and makes it interesting for the artist to click into here and see what this is all about. So we'll go ahead and crop that, and that should be descriptive enough. Now, you want to make sure your thumbnail is interesting and descriptive of your project. So I think this is a good description of that. I think I am going to center the eggs better, though. Cut off the little thing there a bit better and make sure that looks good. So make sure you set your thumbnail, because that is going to be what is the preview on your portfolio. It's going to be what people click on, and you want to make sure it's interesting. I think this shot is nice because it showcases the entire environment and gives you an idea of what you're getting into, clicking into here. I could do maybe the final shot of the egg close-up, but that would require some interesting cropping because it's a 16:9 ratio and this is a square. So this seems like it'll work well. Okay, so coming down here, we have a bit more information. We can check if it has mature content or not. It does not. Down here, we can pick the medium. The medium is the art style you created in. So in ours, it's going to be digital 3D. It's going to be animation. We can see what else this is. That's pretty much it. So digital 3D and animation. For the subject matter, we can click into here, and this is an interesting one. What is our subject matter exactly? This is kind of a hard one to pick. So you can go through these categories here and see what fits best for you, and it might be multiple. So in this particular case, we have a full animation. So we can take a look and see if there's anything along the lines of that. And it doesn't really look like there is, but that means we can also throw this into multiple things potentially. So what might we do for this one? Looking at this, we could come up here and we can look at something like, not necessarily animals and wildlife, but maybe creatures, character animation. So we can add that. Not really character design. We do have some character modeling here. Not really the best character modeling, right? But it's something, and that's okay. We have a creature, so we could do, character animation, character modeling creatures. We could also come in here and find something that is a little bit closer. So one thing we have here is environments and props. So we could think of that. If there's props, I would probably lean towards props here, and maybe character animation, creatures, and props is a good one to use. Now for the software, we have Maya, so we can just type in Maya, and we can find that. Make sure it has the logo. You could just type in like lowercase Maya, and it's not going to come up. We have Photoshop, so we can grab Photoshop. We have After Effects, and I think that's all we used on this one. And that will give us what we need. And then down here, we can add tags to add more information. So this really varies. You can come up with some suggestions for this. You can also add no AI and not created with AI. So no AI makes it so AI can't use this for learning, and created with AI lets you know that AI was used in this. So in this particular case, if you don't want AI to use this for learning, you could click this and add that to it, and it won't. Make sure you don't have created with AI, though, because you created this yourself. So here we could type in something like animation. We could type in sci-fi. We could type in hatch. We could type in dino egg. Whatever comes to mind in terms of this. Compositing. modeling, 3D modeling, whatever you want to put, right? So just fill those out. You do have a limit. Those all help with discoverability. And basically, whatever someone searches for up here, that might be what they find. So in this case, I might also just put the company name, vert mode. So that way, if they search for vert mode, this comes up. Okay. Now, I think that pretty much covers everything we need here. If we're satisfied with our project, we have all these parameters filled out. We can come over here and click Publish. Now, when you do this, it will pop up with a little panel that asks if you want to publish to other social media. If you have other social media linked in, I highly encourage you to link your other social media platforms. If nothing else, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is an important one. If you're not on LinkedIn, you want to be. LinkedIn is basically your portfolio resume website, if you will. That's the purpose of LinkedIn. It's definitely turned more into like a Facebook place for like professionals. But as far as the business world is concerned, it's something you want to keep 100% professional, and you want to constantly show the work you're doing there. Now, once this is done, we can click View Artwork, and we can see what our page looks like. And this is going to be how our page loads. So the first thing that's going to happen when someone clicks on this is it's going to immediately start playing our animation, which is great. The one downside is the audio is not enabled for it. They have to come in here and enable audio for it. So something to think about. If we come down here, our turntable will automatically play for our egg. And you can see how it's a nice size for our monitor, but it might have been better to do a 16:9 ratio to keep it on screen better. We have our incubator spinning. We have our desk model, and you can see down here it has the note. So that's how our portfolio page is going to present. And it's a good setup. It's a good base setup here. Over here, we have our description, we have our views, we have our various social media software used, we have our tags. So really cool. How it's going to view on our portfolio, if we click on this, is it's just going to view like that. It's just going to be a single project there that someone can click into and they can access. So what we could do now is we go ahead and create one of these for our robot project, and if we wanted to, our bouncing ball project. So that would be a great next step to do. All right. But that is the process of setting up a ArtStation project. And you can see there, we already got one like. Yay. That was quick. Must look good. Okay, so just be mindful of that. That is the process. So what I would like you to do is I would like you to go through this process yourself. Go ahead and use your own assets to achieve this. And that way you can get an ArtStation portfolio set up at the end of this. And even if you don't go down this journey, you don't become a professional animator, you don't even pursue it as a hobby, at least you can show someone this and be like, hey, check out this thing I did. It is really cool to share your work with other people. And it's always impressive when you get a finished result like this. All right. So go ahead and give that a shot, get a portfolio set up. So that way you have it there for the future.